So this video is for everybody who wants to start over on social media. I'm gonna start over with you, right? We're gonna do this together, and I'm gonna start off by showing you what the first post you can make as well. You dig? And I'll be the first person to tap in, right? So your personal story. Your personal story is where we're gonna start at. So that's where I'm gonna start at as well, right? Most people don't know that I'm really from the UK. You feel me? You dig? And that's going to bleed more into why I'm so passionate about the African diaspora. But we don't want to skip too far ahead. If this is already too much, then you might as well go ahead and slide now, because this journey not for you. And that's why I want to encourage y'all to tell y'all personal journey as well. Because if people not really there for you, then it's going to distract you. So when I transitioned from the UK, I ended up going to Virginia because my parents were in the military at the time. And so when we got to Virginia, I was around 4 or 5 years old. So that was pretty much where I was raised at. I was raised in Virginia till I was about 24, I believe, maybe 23. Now, we're going to stop giving ages from this point on because I'm a magician. You dig? Y'all don't need to know how old I am. Just make sure y'all stay tuned and grow with me. But I promise you, ain't no gray hairs in my mane. You heard me? So that give you a little insight on where we at with it. Dig. So next, I ended up, and which this is probably the part that most people caught me on, right? I came to Philadelphia, right? And that's probably where a lot of y'all met me. This was before I had social media. That was before I was even willing to communicate my first and last name. You know what I mean? Everybody knows me as TJ for the majority of my life. But I really started embodying who y'all seeing today as Terrence Harris, the marketing, entrepreneur, artist, event coordinator, and just thought-provoking, you know what I mean, person. You did, because more importantly, my gift has always been having the ability to have discernment and see things for what they are, even without all the information or even the experience. And then I also get people thinking. I'm thought-provoking, motivational, and inspirational type vibes, you feel me? So this is just the beginning stage of my journey, right? So if y'all rocking like this for real, you feel me? If y'all rocking with this and y'all want to start this journey with me, this is just part one. And you know what I mean, next time you see me, we gonna dive a little deeper. But let me know if you joining me in the comments, you feel me? Just let me know if you're gonna join me in the comments for this one, and then we'll go from there. I'll follow you, I'll tap in, and then I'll even help you with your first post, because I got a free package that you can use that literally shows you how to make content for 30 days in less than literally an hour. You can use all my tools and literally make a video this dope that quick. You heard me? So bless up. So this is going to be the second part of a 3-part drum, because I don't want to take up too much time introducing myself. I really want to just show y'all how to introduce y'all story. So this is the part where everything really gets messy, right? This is the messy part of the story that really defines my why. And so the reason why I'm even doing this reset is because I really recognize that I haven't held myself truly accountable up until this point. If y'all have witnessed me in Philadelphia over these 7 years, I've grown, I've created a commercial space, I've created music, we've performed, I became a photographer, a videographer, I started learning how to, you dig, print t-shirts, you feel me? I got so much wealth of experience, and in the process, I was losing myself, right? There was so many things that I had already came with, so many things that I already believed in, and I was willing to compromise some of those beliefs and those strong values that I had in order to just get people embraced, get people loved, because I came from real hard environments, and that was what, number one, started me having them gifts. That was where my gifts came from. Wholeheartedly, was those adverse experiences, and that's when I was able to recognize my gift. I want to talk a little bit about your gift too, because hopefully when you explain your why, it can reveal your gift. And if not, I'm willing to jump in the comments and help you figure it out. So if you're a part of this journey, part of what we want to do in this second post is acknowledge our why and our gift, because if we acknowledge our why, then we can find our gift. And then once we find our gift, then that'll bring us to, distinguishing that between our talents, because all those things I mentioned in the beginning were things I learned how to do. But my gift is who I always was, right? That's who I always been, which is an empathic person, right? I've always been a great communicator, even when I'm not supposed to be talking about the stuff I'm talking about. But that deals with and goes into my discernment of knowing what's good, and not even just good, but what is, because that's more important. I'm a righteous person. I follow a line of justice. But before we get into all of that personal beliefs, we have to distinguish what is, right? Having principles, and principles is very important to me. And then lastly, I'm very thought-provoking, right? Sometimes people get a little bit upset on my page, you feel me? Which I understand. I've gone through a long journey of learning how to talk, learning how to show up, and all of that stuff. So sometimes I can recognize people are in that part of their journey. So that's why I started this. So if you need a reset, if you need somebody to, tap you on the shoulder and be like, look, bro, that wasn't it. Look, sis, let me help you out. This is for you. So drop some in the comments and join me on this journey, because all 2025, we up. This thing right here has helped me so much in the last few years, because it showed me how much I could do on my own for myself. See, a lot of what we mentioned in part 2 was about not being the greatest version of yourself. I had to realize that I wasn't pouring into myself as much as I needed to. And that's what this last video is going to be about, is how to actually start pouring into yourself and not feel drained, right? Sometimes being empathetic can leave you empty, right? Let me say that again. You got so much empathy sometimes that it'll leave you empty. You heard me? So I learned how to be more compassionate. Being willing to walk with people on the journey of their self-discovery and their personal development, and not just feeling the way that they feel, because after a while, that turns into something that we've coined recently called trauma bonding, right? We don't want to just be trauma bonding. We want to actually help people rise up and become the greatest version of themselves. But first, I had to show people what that looked like. See, a lot of what I was doing is in the background with the hoodie on, keeping it real low key, just assisting people. But people didn't know that I was the hand, I was the spirit, I was the mindset, I was the love, I was the consistency that they were seeing in a lot of the spaces that I was creating. So there was a disconnect. You feel me? Sometimes I even seemed like the op in my own space, in my own events. People be like, why he ain't into it? I'd be like, because I'm tired. I'm tired. I did all the work that got y'all here. I'm tired. So that's why I started the last maybe 2 years going on now. Ever since I left my commercial space, I got out of a few relationships that I was in, and it made me realize, like, if I was giving all these people all this patience, all this ambition, all this aspiration, all of this grace, and now I'm just hard on myself every single day. So that's what this journey was really about, was about me pouring into myself and learning how to use the tools. I created the Create method. I started investing in my website. I redistribute my music. I grew my following over 5,000 people just being me, just pouring out moments like these and pouring them into myself first. I cultivate everything that y'all see, and I really meditate on it, and I journal about it, and I exercise my will before I ever even come up here to tell you what's real. You heard me? So that's going to be the end of this. I hope y'all stay tuned. If y'all really rocking with this, I want to see at least 4 or 5 people like join this journey. Like, I'm not so big with crowds. I'm more with the depth. I'm more about getting to really know you. Let's make 2025 a year that sets the pace for the rest of our lives. You dig? So tap in, and once these first 4 or 5 people get in there, we're gonna knock it out at 4, because I'm number 5, right? I'm really number 1. But at the end of the day, I want you all to be a part of this, so we could all be ones. We could all be the one and come together as 5 dope individuals for 2025. I had to get my heart broken in so many pieces until I realized that part of me was actually the problem too. So these are like 3 lessons that I learned, because whether it was bad personal relationships, not knowing my true value, or even creating a value to be true, or even just allowing a lot of people to just come in and out of my life with no boundaries, I think these are 3 things that a lot of people can resonate with, especially as a community organizer. You dig what I'm saying? Especially as a black man in America, right? Especially considering that we live in environments that are sometimes lacking resources, regardless of what background you're from or how you identify. It's hard out here, and it's getting harder, right? I post a whole bunch of statistics and stuff about that. So if you're interested in learning more about like hip hop, entrepreneurship, technology, and just what's going on in the bigger world of things and not just your environment, so that maybe you can open your mind and, you know what I mean, find your way out of those places in them spaces that don't affirm you and don't want you and don't acknowledge you and align with what you truly see as your value, right? You know what I mean? What's up? This is Terrence Harris, and I'm gonna just be here sharing for this month, getting us ready for 2025, because I got something that I really want to pour into, so stay tuned. So let's just run through 2024 real quick, right? Because this year was a lot of different, I can't even get the words out. There's a lot of different things going on. New people, people coming in my life, people leaving out my life. I mean, I probably never had to thug it out and be alone as much as I have. And shouts out to, you know what I mean, the people who was really, really, really by my side, you feel me? And I don't like to be name dropping anymore, because a lot of the times what happens with me is I start revealing things before I've truly benefited from them, and then people take them. And we live in a world with scarcity. We live in a world with lack mindset. So it's like, I understand, like if I say that she fly, everybody gonna think she fly and they gonna get to her before I get to her. If I say that space is where it's at, people go and book the space before they even call me to collaborate on the space. If I acknowledge that there's someone that can assist you, they won't even let me work with them before they try to take them out my mitt. You hear me? So I got to start learning how to work with these things first. So I'm not going to do too much more name dropping. I can't let y'all know who I'm with. I can't let y'all know how I'm rocking. The most I can let y'all know is 2025. We're going to be at Here's the Cool Stuff. That's going to be the home hub. Shouts out to maybe Rec Philly as well, because they were the ones who've helped me transition into this greater version of myself as well. And shouts out to New Generation. Shouts out to Live Love Boutique. But I don't want to keep going, because it's like, after a while, it starts seeming like I'm leaving people out. You know what I mean? It might seem like I'm not acknowledging things. Sometimes people be really thinking that I'm trying to be ingenuine, or I'm not being direct with you, because I'm not telling you all my business. I don't have to tell you all my business. All you need to know is what pertains to you and me, right? And a lot of times, especially in a position like this where I'm a leader, other people want to know how to move based on how I'm moving. So that's why they want to know all my movement. You feel me? But if we stay disciplined and focus on what we need to do, we don't need to be all up in my business all the time. Get your package, pull up to the event, live in your purpose, align with the people you need to align with, and if that's me, I'll be sure to know it. But you don't need to know who I'm rocking with, who I'm kissing on the mouth, what I eat, if I'm vegetarian or not, if I like going out, if I like hookah, do I smoke? Oh my gosh, I'll be in my business too much. So bless up. Because I'm here for you, but I'm telling you, I'm not here for everybody. This is, look, what he say? She bad, but she ain't got no taste. Look good, but she ain't got no taste. Look now, look, squabble up, squabble up, squabble up.